Hey, what's going on, world? It's your girl B, back again with 10100 Media. Today, I am here to talk about one of my favorite new pieces of equipment that I have that I bought recently, and it has been a dream. And I want to talk about whether it's still relevant to buy for 2021. I'll go ahead and share some of the things that stood out to me in making this purchase and reasons why I think you guys should probably go ahead and get one too if you're trying to stay under a budget. So first things first, it's the A7 III. The A7 III, I got this maybe like a few months ago. This is an older camera. It's about 3 years old now, but here are some reasons why I think it's still doable in 2021. Reason number one, the price. Especially with the A7S III out now. These things kind of take a dip in price, at least for the moment in the holidays and stuff like that. So I was really impressed by the price and what you get for the price that you pay. So running price for this bad boy right now is full price at like a Best Buy or something like that is about $2,000, $19.99. And if you want to buy it used from like Adorama or anything, it's running about $17.99. So still a fairly good price. I know it's kind of scary after Christmas with the price, but if you want a good budget camera that can do a lot of things and that's still relevant as far as the capabilities and stuff like that, it's definitely worth the buy. Speaking of capabilities, here are some of the things that really stood out about it. I'm not gonna go into detail about everything that it does. I mean, you can pretty much look up the specs, Google it, do whatever you gotta do for that. But for me, one of the things that really stood out was, number one, the low light. Coming from the A7R II, the low light capabilities on the A7 III was something that really drew into me, because it is something that I have been wanting for a while. After shooting my very first wedding, I learned very quickly that a low light camera is definitely beneficial. I'm so happy that at that shoot, I had a second shooter, because he had the Canon 1DX Mark II. So his low light capabilities was amazing. So I was able to use a lot of his footage for that wedding, especially in the reception portion of it. Like, it was definitely needed. So I was really happy with that. So that taught me that I really needed a low light camera that can really do it all for me in a sense. The other thing that really stood out to me about the A7 III is the battery life. The batteries literally last forever, like forever. I've been on entire shoots. I haven't experienced any overheating or anything like that, me personally, although I know that was some concerns for other people who did experience that. That's just not something I've experienced personally. With the A7R II, absolutely. It did overheat. I was in Texas and it did overheat, and it was very scary. That's why I was happy I had a second shooter. But as far as my experience with it, I haven't experienced any overheating. So with the A7 III, the battery life is very nice. It's a bigger battery than what I'm used to with the A7R II, and it lasts a really long time. I'm not sure exactly how long, but I'll put that across here somewhere so you guys can see how long it can last. But for me, just a prime example, I think last time I had a 8-hour shoot, about 8 hours for a shoot, and no problem. It handled it like a champ. But I did buy extra batteries, so I would recommend buying some extra batteries just in case you have that long shoot that you have to do that day. But I definitely did. I bought 2 more and they work like a charm as well. One of the other things that I really liked about the A7 III is that it had more picture profile capabilities. So the picture profile capabilities was way further than what I can imagine. I'm not really a big fan of S-Log. I've just never been a big fan of it. It's something that just didn't work very well for me, but I do like the HLG. The HLG profiles that are on here are very good, and it gives you a little bit more flexibility. In my experience and in my personal opinion, it gives you a little bit more flexibility as opposed to S-Log, because S-Log, in my personal opinion, is just not as forgiving. If you don't have everything perfect, it's not coming out right. That's just been my experience, but I definitely have more learning to do. So I'm more than sure there might be some user errors that I may be doing in there. But the picture profile as far as HLG, HLG2, HLG3, I usually use 2. But HLG2 has just been a dream to color grade, and it's just been so much better for me in finding good colors and being able to still have that flexibility without being in that S-Log, which is, to me, is just unforgiving. Like, if you don't get the exposure and everything right, your whole clip is ruined. So that's just me and my personal opinion about it. So who do I think this camera's for? I think it's for anyone who is looking to have great capabilities in a camera as far as low light, picture profile, things like that, but don't really want to break the pocket that much, especially with the A7S III out right now. The A7S III is like hands down one of the best cameras that's out on the market right now, in my personal opinion. But I think if you're looking to stay within a budget and you still want a good camera, I think the A7 III is a great option for you as well. So with that being said, like I said, I've had no bad experiences with it thus far. It is a 3-year-old camera. It's a 3-year-old camera, so I'm not looking for it to create miracles or be up to par with the A7S III. But it is up there. I think it's a great bang for your buck camera that can provide you with what you need until you can, get enough gigs under your belt to get a higher end camera later on. But I think it's still relevant and still good for at least the next 2 to 3 years. So that's more than enough time for me to get acquainted with this thing and be able to make some amazing content, as in my personal opinion, I have already. So with that being said, you guys, that's all that I have. This was not a long one. This was definitely a short one, but I just want to thank you if you've made it this far in this video. If you guys can, definitely subscribe, give me a like, a thumbs up. It definitely helps the channel and helps with the future of where we're going. So with that being said, you guys have a great day. Thank you so much again, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.